Okay, good morning everybody. Today I thought we might do a little quick session focusing around balance today. So it's going to be a mostly standing session. So we're going to start off with our feet just hip width apart. And we're going to inhale the arms up until stretch up. Nice and tall, just engaging the muscles of the thighs, just zipping in through the core. Relax the shoulders, looking up to our hands and bringing the palms together. Exhale and bring the arms down. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Stretch nice and tall, come up onto your tiptoes. And then relax down, bringing the arms down. Inhale, stretching up. Looking up to your hands, bringing the palms together. And exhale, arms down. We're going to take a shoulder roll, bring the shoulders back, pulling them back together, and then dropping them down. Bring them up to the ears, shoulder blades come together, rolling them down. One more time, shoulders up to the ears, and then pulling them back together, dropping down, and then we'll roll, shape them forward. Shoulder blades come together, then shoulders up to the ears, roll forwards. And one more time. Nice. Just going to take our feet slightly wider than hip width apart. And we're going to inhale the arm up, and then we're going to exhale and come down, stretching to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, stretching to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale down to the right, to the left. Feel that lovely long stretch down the side of the body as you bring yourself down. Trying to keep your body in a nice straight line as well, so don't be tempted to sort of fall forwards. It's just a nice lateral stretch we're doing here. Imagine you could do this standing against the wall. And then back to center. Bringing the palms together and just bring the feet together. And then let's just take a little back bend here. So stretching up nice and tall. And then imagine you're drawing a little line along the back, along the ceiling. Stretching from just below the shoulder blades. And then back. We're going to take a step to the front of our mat. We're going to inhale the arms up. Stretching nice and tall. And then exhale, bending from the hips. Hands come to the mat, head drops down, chin to chest. And then inhale, flatten the back and look straight ahead. Got a nice straight back here. Hands frame the feet. We're going to step back to plank. And then we're going to slowly come to our knees and bring ourselves down to the mat, keeping the elbows into the body. And then press up into baby cobra. Looking up, relaxing the bum muscles, relaxing the hamstrings. Just enjoying that nice stretch. Hands slightly further apart in seal if that feels better. Tuck the toes, and we're going to push back into a bent knee, downward facing dog. And just walk the knees back and forth. One and then the other. We're then going to step forward with the right foot. We're going to ground that heel at the back. And we're going to raise the arms and just come into your warrior one. Bending that right leg. Hands frame the feet. Step back to plank. And then come to the knees or come down to the ground in one piece. Press up into your baby cobra. Looking up, shoulders back and down. And then tuck the toes, nice bent knee, downward facing dog. Just walk those heels. Find that stretch over the shoulders and the back. And then we're stepping forwards with the left foot. Ground the right heel. And then raising the arms overhead. Stretching up nice and tall through the body, but letting the hips sink down and forwards. Stretching the hip flexors. Hands front of the feet. And step forward back into your forward fold. You can have a little bent knee here as well. Inhale to flatten the back. And then bend the knees and rise up into your chair. Sitting back a little bit. And then standing up nice and tall. It's a little bit mindful for zipping in through the core here. Inhale, raise the arms. Stretching up nice and tall. Exhale, dive to forward fold. Letting the head come down. Inhale, flatten the back, look straight ahead. Exhale, roll down, forward fold. Inhale, step back with the left foot. Just root through the ground here. Maybe you can slide the hips forward and then back. Maybe a straighter right leg to feel a hamstring stretch, and then forwards and back. And then bending the right knee, raising the heart and the chest. And we're just going to take some pulses down here. So bringing the knee straight down, moving the body straight down towards the mat. Almost touching the mat with the knee. And just maintaining the balance. Find something to look at straight ahead. Breathing through it. Just a couple more to go. Building a bit of heat through the legs here. And one more. Knee down. Hands front the feet. Stretch forward with the hip flexors and then straighten the right leg. Hands touch the ground and push back into downward facing dog. Walk the knees and then roll forwards to plank. And then either come to the knees or bring yourself down in one piece to the mat. And then press up into cobra or seal if that feels a little bit better. Looking up. Bending the knees, pushing back into downward facing dog. And we're now going to step forward with the left leg. Just feel some grounding there in your right leg. And then raising up through the chest. And maybe you need to have a little movement there to get your feet in the right position. And then we're just going to bring the knee down to the mat. So find something ahead of you to look at. Knee coming almost down to the mat. Body coming straight down. Just feeling that heat coming through the legs, the energy. Beautiful day. We'll get our yoga done and then get out into the countryside. Okay, last three. 1, 2, 3. Hands come to frame the foot. Stretch the hip forward and then back. Stretch forward and then back so you can get the hamstring. One more time, forwards and then back. We're going to step back into downward facing dog. And then we're just going to do a couple of little flows here between our plank and downward dog. So from downward dog, pull the tummy in and then ripple through, roll into plank, and then bend the arms a little, knees come towards the mat, and then find yourself back in downward facing dog. So imagine the hips are doing a circle, so we roll over, hips are coming forwards, come onto the toes, shoulders over the wrists, then bend the arms, bend the knees and push the hips back. Roll forwards, bend the arms a little, back to downward facing dog. One more time, rolling forwards, shoulders come above the wrists, bend the knees, and push back into downward facing dog. Maybe give those little legs a walk. Again, maybe you can find some stillness. We're going to then stretch our left leg up as tall as it'll go. And then we're going to roll forwards, bring the left knee to the left elbow, right elbow, and then back into three-legged dog. Run through that again. So left elbow, right elbow, three-legged dog. Then you can be a little bit bouncy and springy here. Left elbow, right angle, hip elbow, three-legged dog. And one more time. Left elbow, right elbow, three-legged dog. And then back into downward facing dog. Come down onto the knees and stretch back. Feel a lovely stretch along those shoulders, over the back, lower back. And then we're going to push up, pulling the belly button in, tucking the toes, back into our downward facing dog. And then we're going to lift the right leg, high as it'll go, and then right knee comes to the right elbow as you roll forwards into a plank position. And then back into three-legged dog, right elbow, left elbow, three-legged dog. We're almost in a little bit of a circle here. Right elbow, left elbow, three-legged dog, right elbow, left elbow, three-legged dog, and then find yourself back in downward facing dog. Come into the knees, and then stretching out the body. Then we're going to press back up, and we're going to step our feet forwards to the front of the mat. Just enjoy a little forward fold for a second. Allow yourself to hang down. Maybe you want to heel toe the feet out a little tiny bit. See if that feels any nicer. And maybe just take hold of the elbows and just gently rock from one side to the other. Just feel that stretch along the hamstrings. Do bend the knees if it feels better. Find some space in the back. Maybe you can extend how far you come here. And then the other. And then we're going to slowly roll up into Tadasana, mountain pose. Just take a moment here. And then just relax the hands. Relax the shoulders and relax the muscles. Maybe take a couple of shoulder rolls and maybe just shake the legs out a little bit. Okay. All right. So we're going to start our balance sequence now. We're going to start with a lovely tree. So first thing to do is to just prepare the body. So rolling back from the heels to the soles of the feet, the balls of the feet. And then popping one toe down at a time, spreading them out. So start with the little toe, then work to the big toe. and then all the toes off, and then put them down, and then find what feels good. Now we need to engage the muscles of the thigh, the core, have a little feel of where the shoulders are, and then relax them. And imagine yourself rooting into the ground and then growing nice and tall through the crown of your head. And then we're going to just bring the weight into the right leg, and we're going to bring the left foot onto the inside of the right leg, or onto the inside of the thigh. Whatever feels good here. Breathe all the time. Be mindful of your breath. Maybe this is a good time to practice 4 breaths in, and then hold for a breath for a moment, and then 4 seconds to breathe out. I said that wrong there. So 4 seconds in, hold, and 4 seconds to breathe out. We're going to bring the hands to our heart center. We're going to just have a little think here. Imagine that both of our feet are actually on the ground. The hips are as open as possible, so we're letting that leg fall out to the left as much as possible. We're grounding through, using all of our toes, pressing the hands together. And then we're going to just raise the arms up. And then let the hands come apart. And then bring them out to parallel. Breathing into it. And enjoying the calm that that brings you. Hands come back together. And we're going to bring them back to our heart center. We're going to bring the knee straight ahead. And then we're going to just point the toe. And we're going to bring that leg back behind us. Stretching back. Allow the gaze to drop a little. And stretching the leg behind. Oh. There goes me. And then bringing yourself back to your center, and your left leg comes back to the ground. We're going to test our balance a little bit today. Okay, so same again, but on the other side now. So just take a moment, maybe you want to have a little wobble of the legs, grounding through the toes, planting each toe down, and then lifting up that right leg. Maybe it comes onto your shin, or maybe it's on the inside of your leg. Hands come to your heart center, palms pressing together. Find something to look at, and then allow that right knee to fall out so that your hips are opening. Try not to collapse into the hip. Think about yourself as growing nice and tall through the crown of your head. Raising the arms up above your head. And then the arms fall to the sides, parallel with the ground. Just enjoy this beautiful, strong tree pose. Breathing through it. Maybe breathing into a count of 4. Don't worry if you have a wobble. Just come back to it. Remember, zipping in through the core, engaging the muscles of the legs. Find your breath. Raising the arms back up. Bringing them back to your heart center. And then bringing that right knee up. And then we're going to go with the forward bend and pushing that right leg out behind us again. See how far it goes. Try and keep the hips parallel to the ground. See if you can push the leg back. And then bringing the knee back through. In control fashion, knee comes back up to your chest and then finds the floor. Hands come back down and then just give yourself a little shake off. Well done. Okay, so next one, we're going to stretch. We're going to sweep the left leg up behind us and catch the foot with the hand, maybe on the inside of the foot if you can, or if that feels too much for the shoulder, catch it on the outside. Whatever feels good. Stretching the right arm up tall. Just feel that stretch, enjoy that stretch on the quad muscles there on the thigh. Stretching up nice and tall, don't collapse through the hips. Grounding through the feet, growing tall through the crown of the head. And then we're going to slowly bring the foot away from the bum, pushing it away from the body and trying to get as much space between the foot and the body as possible. And once you've pushed it as far back as it will go, then you can start hinging at the hips and bringing your body forwards. And then back to center. We're going to just try that on the other side now. So, your legs a little shake, ground through, work out how the toes want to fall. And then I'm going to turn to the side this time, I think. So you're going to catch your right foot with your right arm, and you're going to stretch the left arm up nice and tall. Zip through the core, and then start to press the foot into the hand and away from the body. Go as far as you feel able, and then slowly start to hinge forward at the hips. Find a point to look at, ideally one that's not moving. Don't worry if you fall out of this. Remember your breathing. And then back to center. And a nice, slow, controlled movement. Great, well done. Okay. Now you can give yourself a little shake off again. Okay, so we're now going to take a step forwards with the right foot. We're going to float the arms out to the side. We're going to drive the left leg back. So, step forwards, right foot. Arms come out to the side, and let's just imagine we're like a little dragon flying over the mountains. Press back with the heel, hips are square to the ground if possible. Chest comes down towards the ground. And then maybe the hands come down to the ground. And then we're going to open the hips so that your left hip comes over the right hip. And we open up. We might be able to bring the left hand to the hip. And then start to open the chest. When you do this, maybe you can start to look forwards. And maybe you can lift the arm into half moon pose. You might, if you have a block or something to put your hand on, that might be better. So maybe if it's not a block, maybe something more solid like a chair. Perhaps when you come forwards, actually use a sofa and then try and get that position where you open the chest, lifting the left leg up, opening the hips out, and you really feel this out in your hips and your outer thigh. And then from whichever variation you've taken, we're going to come back to face the floor, square to the ground. Maybe we can lift up that left leg a little higher. And then we're just going to bring it in. And maybe we can stand up at the same time as we bring the left knee up to the chest and then stretch it out ahead of us. And then back and then down to the ground. Okay, same thing on the other side now. Give yourself a little shake off and work out what you feel is best, whether you would like to have a cushion, not a cushion, a chair, a sofa, if you've got a yoga block or something to put your hand down on. So preparing now, we're going to be stepping forwards with our left foot. So just rock forward, back and forth, and find your comfortable space. Stepping forwards, the arms come out to the side. We're driving back with the right leg. Bit of a wobble today. Hands are coming down to the mat. You're lifting the leg, and then you start to bring the hand to the hip, and you open the hips. You might look forwards, you might bring the arm out, try and lift that leg, and then bringing your hands back down to the ground. Maybe bending the knee, and then lifting, whoops, I've lost it. Lifting the chest up, bringing the knee up to the chest, and then stretching the leg out in front of you, and then in and down. It's not an easy one. So that was a bit of a adapted warrior 3 and moon pose all wrapped up into one. Okay. So we're going to just try and run through that one more time. So let's do it with our hands at prayer at chest. So hands come together. Then step forward with the right foot. We're going to drive the left foot up and back. Push back with the heel. Try and keep the hips square to the ground. We're then going to step back with the left leg. I'm a little too far forward. Ground the heel at the back. Raise the arms up. Palms come together. Hips are forward. We're just bending the front knee. Finding ourselves in warrior 1. Stretch along the calf and back with the left leg. Come up onto the toe, and that might intensify the stretch on the hip flexors. Maybe not. And then we're going to press up and find ourselves back into our warrior 3, hands at prayer. And then bringing the knee back up to the chest, and then stretching forwards, back in, and then back down again. We can do this on the other side now. So we're going to step forwards with the left foot. Hands come to prayer at chest. Step forwards. Driving the right heel backwards as you hinge forwards. Lift the foot as far as you can, keeping the hips parallel with the ground, and then step back. I've done it again, I'm off my mat. The hips are still square with the front of the mat. So that back foot, that right foot, is actually about 30 degrees. So it's not quite straightforward, but it's not out to the side. Raise the arms up and just sink into that hip, bending that left leg. Feel the stretch along the back of the right leg, powering through the right leg. And then come up onto the heel, maybe bend down a little bit more, and maybe you'll get more of a stretch along the hip flexor. Hands come back to chest, pressing back up into our adapted warrior 3, driving back through the right leg, and then bringing the knee up to the chest, and then stretching it back out in front of you. Knee in, and then down. And then give yourself a little shake off, just because we've done some lovely balance work here. And then the final one of the this little set, I think we do a nice eagle pose. So we're going to take the right arm under the left arm. Bring the palms together, And at the same time, bringing the right leg over the left leg. And maybe it tucks all the way around. Maybe it just comes as cross, like in tree. Maybe it rests on the ground. And once you feel your stability, take a little moment. And then we're just going to sit back as though we're in the chair. And at the same time, we're going to lift the elbows a little to get a bit more stretch along the back. Bending the knee. And then coming out of that. And then give your legs a little movement, one in front of the other. Arms out, and we're going to sweep the left arm under the right, bringing the palms together, and then bringing the left leg over the right leg, bringing it round. Hips are facing forwards. Rest the foot wherever feels comfortable. Maybe you can raise the hips up a little bit as you sit, raise the elbows up a little as you lower the hips, sitting back into your chair. And then bring yourself out. Give yourself a little shake. And then we're going to just step the feet sort of hip width apart. We're going to turn the toes in slightly. We're going to take the hands and interweave them behind us. So we get a little stretch across the chest, open the chest. And then we're going to hinge from the hips, bringing the arms up behind us, and allow the head to drop down in our wide-legged fold. The toes should be turned slightly inwards here. And you should be feeling quite a nice stretch along the hamstrings. We'll just take a few breaths here. And when you're ready to come out, pull up from the arms. Lovely. We're just going to rotate those shoulders a little bit. And then we're going to take a bind on the hands, but the opposite way this time. So whichever thumb was forward before, do it the opposite way around. And then we're going to hinge from the hips and then lower ourselves down, lifting the arms over behind us. And then lifting up from the arms. Give the shoulders a little bit of a roll backwards and then forwards. And then we're going to heel toe the feet in a little, bend the knee, bring the hands to your heart center, and then we're going to slowly bring ourselves into our Hindi squat. Stretch out that spine. Chest is nice and open. Open the hips. Maybe you can have a little rock one side and then the other. And if this doesn't work, then remember you can come up onto your toes. Put a little blanket underneath them, just to lift them up a little bit. If you feel comfortable here, then just sit into this posture. Maybe you can bring the hands to the back of your head and let the head drop down so that you get the full effect of a stretch along the whole spine. And if that's too much, which it may well be, just look straight ahead. And then we're slowly going to bring ourselves down to the ground. Bring the knees together and then maybe just hug the knees into the chest. Let your head just drop and just relax a little bit. To enjoy that rebound from being in that squat position for that time. Lovely. And then we're just going to come back into a seated position, Sukhasana. their legs crossed. And then just take a little bit of a circle over the hips. Do quite a bit of work. And then take a breath in. And then as you breathe out, just roll forwards, letting the head come down towards the mat. And then rolling back up. And if you'd like to just roll onto your back really slowly. And then from here, just bring your knees to your chest and give them a little circle one way and then the other. And then stretch out the right leg, and the left leg we're just going to straighten out and bring towards the body. Doesn't matter where it is, it doesn't matter where you're holding it, it's whatever feels good for you. Just tease it towards you. And then we're going to bring the left leg down, right leg up, tease that leg towards you. And then let it come down. Okay, from here, we are going to then just cross the legs as though sort of, we've just brought our right leg over the left. And then we're going to just bring the knee, the right knee down to the left. And this will give us quite a strong twist along the spine here. So it might be that you want to keep something underneath that right knee, just to stop you from coming all the way up. Or maybe you can just live with that a little. Breathe into it. Your shoulder probably won't be on the ground because it's quite a deep stretch here. But try to keep the chest open and tease the shoulder down towards the mat. Doesn't really matter where you're looking at this point, just whatever feels the best on your spine. And then we're going to bring the knees back up to the center. We're then going to cross the left leg over the right, and then we're going to bring the left knee down towards the right hand side. And take a twist in the opposite direction. And then just soften the jaw. Enjoy a nice deep inhalation and exhalation. Soften the face. And then bring the knees back to the center. And then just stretch out. Let the feet roll apart, let the hands roll out. Feel yourself supported completely by the mat. And just enjoy that rebound. Just absorbing what we've been doing today. I'm going to leave you here to enjoy your Shavasana. When you're ready to come out of this pose, just roll over onto one side. And slowly bring yourself up. But remember, there's no rush. So take your time. Thank you very much for practicing today. I hope you're well and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste.